Hello guys, una know say a couple of weeks ago, Tunde Bakare delivered a shocking speech against this satanic APC government, Tinubu administration. So because of that, everybody, the social media, Nigeria, Africa, probably the world were shaking because of that wonderful submission from Tunde Bakare. As we speaking now, Tunde Bakare don't go see Tinubu yesterday. I believe saying that for a house for Lagos. He come out now, NTA come dey ask am question say, wetin you go see Tinubu for? He say go see Tinubu, go talk about wetin dey affect us. You tell us at least one wetin you go see am for. He say he no fit talk, say na secret. I go say, e don become like that. I don't know, but you'll be watching this particular video. We'll be recapitulating on the previous video, how he lambasted on the satanic APC Tinubu government altogether. Let's take this one.
So we have you in the country as one of those who speak truth to power. And you have demonstrated that recently, expressing your views about the administration. What specifically are those things you have reservations about?
Well, it's not about just reservations. It's about how the country will go well. My life, personal vision is to see a nation that works in my lifetime. And those things I've discussed with Mr. President. They're not hidden things, but I've learned that when you discuss with the person in charge, you leave it with him to do whatsoever he wills with what you have suggested. So I've had a private conversation with Mr. President, and I'm glad that he received me well, and I trust that God will help our nation.
What areas specifically do you want him to improve on?
I've just told you what transpired in my discussion with him stays with me and with him. God guiding him and giving him wisdom will help this nation not to slide or go down the drain, but to bounce back so that it can leave a mark that cannot be erased.
Okay. So now, what do you like to see in the next 2 years of this administration?
Well, I like to see a peaceful nation. I like to see Nigerians being their brother's keeper. I like to see good collaboration between the best of the North and the best of the South to steer Nigeria in the right direction. I like to see predictable progress in our nation. We have danced around some subjects for too long a time. It's time to take concrete action to ensure that the mercies of our country do not live in abject poverty. That's all.
At the center of this political banditry is the motor park brand of politics, nurtured by the old brigade politicians, and in recent times by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Mr. President, it is through your influence that the Nigerian National Assembly has become a haven for legislative rascality. Mr. President, it's under your watch that the National Assembly has become an extension of the executive, grossly violating the principles of separation of powers and rubber stamping the whims and caprices of your office, all while singing the international anthem of psychoviolence on your mandate we shall stand. Mr. President, thanks to your political machinations, Nigeria is now bedeviled by a captured National Assembly, the most ineffective in its checks and balances role since the start of the Fourth Republic. In 2006, the Fourth National Assembly had the audacity to reject the tenure extension bid of a sitting president. In 2010, the Sixth National Assembly summoned the courage to stand against a power hijacking cabal and restore Nigeria to the path of constitutionality by invoking the doctrine of necessity. In 2011, the House of Representatives of the Seventh National Assembly had the courage to elect its leaders, as did the Senate of the Eighth National Assembly in 2015, defying executive interference. This National Assembly, the 10th, as by its unconstitutional endorsement of the president's abuse of powers, proven to be the most spineless in our recent history. Through its actions and inactions, the National Assembly has in effect become the 48th member of the president's cabinet. While a cabinet minister by the name of Wike, is it Wike or Wike or Wakeep? While a cabinet minister has more or less become a third-time state governor in Rivers State, pampered by the indulgences of the president. Recent events have made it clear to Nigerians that had this assembly been in place in 2006, when the third-term agenda was proposed, our democracy would have since morphed into one of Africa's lamentable tales of sit-tight dictatorship. To the president of the Nigerian Senate, who has not heeded the call to subject himself to an unbiased investigation, to clear his name of the allegations leveled against him, and under whose leadership the National Assembly has become a carry-go legislature, hiding under the umbrella of technicalities and a dubious voice voting system, I leave you and your conscience with the words of Frederic Bessières, former deputy of the French National Assembly. He said, and I quote, "When plunder becomes a way of life for a group of men in a society, over the course of time, they create for themselves a legal system that authorizes it and a moral code that glorifies it." To the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, under whose brand of politics the institution of legislative oversight is collapsing and our democracy is faced with an existential threat, I say, Mr. President, Nigeria is too delicate for this kind of politics. If this state capture was what you meant by a Milokan, it is an anticlimax that can only be counterproductive at the end. I urge you, Mr. President, to think deeply and reflect on these words. No man is wise enough, nor good enough to be trusted with unlimited power. Mr. President, please stop playing God.
My question is that, wait till Baba go discuss with Baba. We can't be say, you know, if he can't talk to us again. Let's wait. Let's just wait. You know, say for this country, anybody can be silenced. Either you silence people by violence, silence people by oppression, suppression, intimidation, or silence people by brown envelope. You know, say brown envelope now not they contain naira anymore. It contain high currency, allegedly. This is NAIJA Watch Media. Join us every day, 7 p.m. Nigerian time. Let's continue to talk about the things that are affecting you and I. Take care, guys, and bye for now.